Listen, here's the deal. You're gonna have to take your credibility from this stat and not this stat. The key thing to understand about speedrunning Slay the Spire, along with any roguelike game, is that luck plays a huge role in the process. Right off the get-go, you have to understand that this game is tedious to run at times. You'll get bad cards, you'll end up fighting enemies on question mark spaces, you'll die while carelessly spamming cards. The list is endless. So I want to make it clear from the beginning, the greatest resource in speedrunning is free time. The more time you have to cycle through runs, the more likely you'll be to get a personal record or reach a personal goal of some sort. However, you probably noticed that there's still a bit of time left in this video. You're not completely out of control when it comes to running this game. It's like poker. You can't control the cards you're dealt, but you can control the play you make with the cards. And when you're dealt a beautiful hand, you have to know how to take advantage of it. So in this video, I'm going to lay out some tips for you to start speedrunning Slay the Spire. Nothing too complicated, just some tips to guide you in the right direction. Above all else though, if you're interested in learning the game beyond my basic tips, I recommend joining the Slay the Spire speedrunning Discord and reading through some of the guides in the Slay the Spire speedrun.com page. As a matter of fact, I use Dr. Joofy's speedrunning basics guide as a bit of a reference for this vid. Shout out to Joofy. Now, let's get into it. First off, you're going to need a recording software and a timer. I use OBS to record my runs and LiveSplit to record my times. I just wanted to mention that because the game doesn't record run times using the in-game timer, it records run times using your personal timer. Time starts when you select Embark and ends when you strike the final blow to the third act boss. You're also going to want to show on screen that you don't have a seed inputted when playing unseeded, which is the category we're going to talk about today. Seeded is pretty monotonous in my opinion. You just have to copy what the best players are doing. So to recap, click Set Seed to show you aren't using a seed when doing unseeded, then start your timer when you click Embark. Time ends when you strike the final blow to the third boss. Now that you actually know how to submit a valid run, let's move on to some more technical stuff. In the settings menu, you're going to want to enable fast mode and show card quick select keys. Fast mode is pretty simple. The animations and the general gameplay is accelerated. Show card quick select keys is also important, though not essential. See, you don't have to use your mouse to select the cards you want to play. You can use your number keys to select the cards. That way, you can quickly pick up your cards and play them without the hassle of having to move your mouse from your hand to the enemy and back to your hand over and over every single turn. It takes some getting used to, but once you get it down, you go way faster than if you use your mouse. When advancing through the floors in the Spire, it's best to choose the path with the most question mark spaces. The thing to be aware of is that fighting enemies will eat up a good chunk of your time, so avoid enemies whenever possible. It's also a good idea to try to go for a path with at least one shop placed somewhere along it, as key cards and relics can be picked up in the shops. That's to say, you get a higher chance of getting the cards you need if you try to pull them from the shop and not from enemy fights. Plus, it's quicker to buy things from the shop. Elites are a definite no-go since they would take so much time to kill. Unless you already have a super powerful deck and you can kill the elites in a single turn, you're going to want to avoid them. Obviously, while you want to avoid as many fights as possible, you have to prepare for the inevitable. Each character in Slay the Spire will have different deck strategies and cards you will want to get, and depending on your character, your combat will look very different. This guide is just for general any % unseeded runs, so if you want to learn specific characters, I recommend you read the guides and study the characters after you finish this video. In general though, all characters will usually suffer from keeping all their strikes and defense. There are exceptions, like when you're building a perfected strike with Ironclad, but overall, you want to get rid of those strikes and defense as you obtain better cards. Keep the amount of strikes and defense close to equal as you get rid of them. If you get rid of all of your strikes before getting rid of even a single defend, you'll find yourself wasting time cycling through defensive cards on turns where you could deal massive damage otherwise. And if you keep all of your strikes while getting rid of your blocks, you'll find yourself vulnerable to enemies and your run will end a bit earlier than you'd like. Ideally, you balance out the ratio of strikes and defense to be equal until you get rid of them all. And obviously, curses and cards that apply negative effects are a higher priority than strikes and defense. Don't get rid of a strike when you have the opportunity to get rid of a curse instead. Now, let's talk about resetting runs. There are times where you just get absolutely rotten luck, and right off the bat, you'll be able to tell when a run has little to no potential for a PB. That's okay. You should actually keep playing the run until you either die or finish the run. In terms of objective progress, you'll be learning more about the game and reinforcing certain strategies and movements while getting more experience on later floors that you would see very little of if you reset constantly on the first act. Personally, I think it's worth just playing through a run for your mental state. See, if you just reset over and over and over and over again on the first act while looking for the perfect starting deck, you'll drive yourself crazy. Sometimes it's more satisfying to complete a run that isn't a PB than it is to go hours without finishing a run in pursuit of a faster time. Keep yourself calm, remember that you're speedrunning purely for fun, and rewards your hard work every once in a while with the dopamine a completed run will grant. That's about all I have to say in regards to getting started speedrunning Slay the Spire. Obviously, there are way more advanced things to learn like deck archetypes, relic synergies, and a lot more, but my goal for this video is to simply get you started. If you like speedrunning Slay the Spire, I once again must recommend reading the guides on the Slay the Spire speedrun.com page and joining the Slay the Spire speedrunning Discord server. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. I could drone on about statistics and how only 50% of people watching are subscribed, but this is a YouTube video, not math class. If the community enjoys this video, I plan on eventually releasing more in-depth guides to specific characters, so let me know if you enjoyed. That's about it. Thanks for watching.